This Austrian truck helped build up Poland. It became the foundation for the entire modern automotive industry of China, and it was its cab and engine that formed the basis for tactical vehicles assembled in Texas for the needs of the US Army. Meet the Steyr-90 series, a vehicle that became the engineering pride of Steyr-Daimler-Puch, and at the same time, its swan song. What was so special about these machines? How did they manage to conquer several continents? And why did this avant-garde brand eventually disappear from European roads? Let's find out. The story of this truck begins in the late 1960s. The commercial vehicle market changed dramatically. Europe, with its narrow roads and cramped city streets, demanded maneuverability. That's why classic bonneted trucks started to become a thing of the past. The management at Steyr realized that to survive against giants like MAN, Mercedes, or Volvo, they needed a completely new vehicle. After several unsuccessful attempts to join forces with other brands, the Austrians decided to go it alone. They developed a new hoodless cab, the Type 160, and it was a real explosion of automotive cubism. Do you know who was really behind these ingenious carved shapes? Legendary French industrial designer, Louis Lucien Leplat. This prominent European maestro of style, who once created the cabin for the Magi Studuff, also painted our Steyr 90. The cabin took on an unusual rhombus shape, tapering towards the top. No unnecessary details, strict straight lines, flat panels, a huge glass area, and the signature feature, a radiator grille shifted to the right. The design turned out so avant-garde that it was impossible to confuse this vehicle with any other on the road. But what was it like to work inside? Thanks to the huge windows, drivers often called the cab an aquarium. However, the visibility from it was phenomenal, leaving many competitors far behind. A convenient dashboard, spacious sleeping compartments for long-haul drivers, and most importantly, perfect preparation for winter. A truck built in the land of the snowy Alps. It started up without any problems in the cold, and the powerful heater made it incredibly warm and comfortable for the driver. That's why the bright orange Steyrs became the main snowplows in the Austrian Alps. Thanks to their phenomenal all-wheel drive, they confidently made their way through 2-meter-high drifts on mountain passes, working where other equipment simply gave up. Production of the 90 series began in 1968. The first to roll off the assembly line were the heavy 2-axle models, the 990 and 1290. Under the cab were their own 6-cylinder VD6 14-turbo diesels with a displacement of 8.1 liters, producing between 180 and 230 horsepower. A year later, the medium-duty 590 and 690 series appeared, featuring a slightly modified Hanomag Hensel cab and smaller 6-cylinder engines. The trucks turned out to be surprisingly successful. The modular design made it possible to assemble flatbed trucks, dump trucks, tractor units, and specialized vehicles, and the Austrians' extensive experience in creating all-wheel drive quickly turned Steyr into the king of off-road and construction sites. And that's no surprise. Don't forget that during those same years, engineers from the Steyr-Daimler-Puch group were developing benchmark all-wheel drives. The Pinzgauer, the Hoflinger, and they were directly involved in creating the legendary Mercedes-Benz G-Class, which was also sold as the Puch G. The genes for extreme off-roading were literally woven into this company's DNA. So what exactly made the heavy Steyrs the kings of the quarries? The secret lay in their massive axles with portal planetary gearboxes and robust differential locks. It was this tractor-style design that kept the machine from snapping its half-shafts under insane loads, and allowed it to crawl where competitors would hopelessly get stuck on their bellies. However, even for tough conditions, the 6 cylinders still lacked enough power, so the engineers decided to step on the gas. And already in 1971, they introduced the company's first ever V-type diesel 8-cylinder engine with a 12-liter displacement, 320 horsepower, and twin turbochargers. To service such a beast, they had to develop a tilting cab for the heavy-duty series, and that was a real lifesaver for the mechanics. After all, there's no such thing as a perfect machine, and the early Steyrs had their own drawbacks. Before the tilting cab appeared, servicing the 6-cylinder engines had to be done right from inside the cab by removing the massive inner hood panels. That meant dirt, grease, and all those distinctive smells from the repair bay often ended up right inside that same comfortable aquarium-like cab, the driver's cab. By the early 80s, about 35% of all trucks on Austria's roads carried the Steyr logo, but real success awaited the brand abroad. Europe was so impressed by the Austrians' engineering that in 1972, the Polish company Hellish bought a license to produce Steyr frames and axles. Using this as a foundation, the Poles created their own truck, the Hellish 640. In addition, Poland directly purchased a batch of heavy Steyrs for the construction of the giant metallurgical plant in Katowice. In 1978, the Austrians released a deeply modernized series with the Index 91. It got a plastic radiator grille, better sound insulation, and updated engines with intercooling. These engines were phenomenally efficient. In tests by the German magazine Last Auto Omnibus, a 38-ton Steyr road train with a 280 horsepower engine blew away the competition. And these weren't just any trucks, they were the real market leaders. Mercedes-Benz NG, Volvo F89, and the first-generation Scania. The Austrian beat them all, setting a record low fuel consumption of just 37.5 liters per 100 kilometers. This rugged durability, combined with fuel efficiency, paved the way for Austrian trucks to take on the most extreme long-haul routes of that era. In the 1970s and 1980s, among European long-haul truckers, the most legendary, extremely dangerous, and lucrative routes were the transcontinental runs to the Middle East, to Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. These routes spanned thousands of kilometers across scorching deserts and winding mountain roads. Steyrs became true stars of these hellish routes. Thanks to their powerful cooling systems, their engines didn't overheat in the extreme heat, and the spacious sleeper cabins provided drivers with the comfort they needed during week-long trips. Later on, the lineup was expanded with military all-wheel drive versions, the 91M. They spread all over the world, from Saudi Arabia to Canada. At the end of the 80s, the most powerful army in the world, the US Army, was looking for a new tactical truck. American corporations offered their own options, but in the tough trials, the design from a small European company came out on top. Just imagine to meet the Pentagon's requirements. The Americans had to admit that the Austrian chassis and cabs proved to be more durable in tests than their own designs. That's how the Steyr became the basis for the American FMTV truck family, which was assembled in Texas. But Steyr hit the biggest jackpot in 1984. China, having started its economic reforms, Deng Xiaoping, in search of Western technologies to make a leap forward, chose the Austrians. The agreement to transfer the Steyr 91 license to the Chinese company CNHTC became historic. It was on this platform that all of modern China's heavy industry grew, including the well-known Howo brand. What's more, modernized descendants of the 91 Steyr are still being produced by CNHTC to this day. However, despite constant innovations in the 1980s, such as engine encapsulation and noise reduction, aerodynamic body kits, and increasing power up to 310 horsepower, the company's financial fortunes were declining. The market was becoming tougher for relatively small, independent manufacturers. A real blow for Steyr was Europe's preparation for the introduction of new, strict environmental standards, future Euro 1 and Euro 2, which required the development of completely new engines. Designing clean engines from scratch demanded enormous investments. While the transnational giants could afford this, the independent Austrian company simply didn't have those billion-dollar resources. So, in order to survive, Steyr was forced to look for a strong partner. In 1990, Steyr's truck division was taken over by the German corporation MAN. Production of original Austrian vehicles stopped, and the factory began rolling out rebadged MAN F90s. Later, the TGA models followed. And that's how the story of the original Steyr trucks came to an end. They fell victim to the relentless laws of the global economy, where financial clout often outweighs even the best engineering solutions. But did Steyr disappear without a trace? Not at all. Today, the original trucks of the 90 and 91 series have found a vibrant afterlife, becoming coveted trophies for vintage truck collectors. At European classic vehicle festivals, you can find perfectly restored cubes. The Steyr draws crowds of fans around it, proving that true charisma with a pair of hands never rusts. So what do you think of this boxy Austrian design? Would you like to get behind the wheel of such an avant-garde beauty? Share your impressions in the comments, and hit like if you love charismatic classics. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.